Today I'm going to show you how to make women's fingerless mittens, and I'm using a size H crochet hook. And what I'm going to do first of all is make a slip stitch. You just take the yarn and wrap it around your finger and then put it through there. Put your hook underneath the yarn and then pull it, and there you have a slip knot. And my directions say for the cuff, which is what we're going to start making, you chain 11. So that's what we're going to do. So put the yarn where it's comfortable for you to hold, and then just chain 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. For row 1, it says to single crochet in second chain from hook and then single crochet in the next 9. So what we're going to do is count 2, 1, 2, that's the second chain from the hook. We're going to put the hook through the yarn, pull up a stitch, and then pull it through, and there we have our first single crochet. And we're going to do the same thing all across. And you want to make sure that you gauge your tension so that it's not too tight. It just needs to be the same all the way through the glove or the mitten. Okay, we're almost done with that row. Okay, there's my last one. I'm going to pull up the loop. And then round 2 says to chain 1, so I'm going to chain 1 and then turn. And we're going to single crochet in the back loops only for the next 10 stitches.
What's a back loop?
So the back loops are, when you're looking at the single crochet, there's 2 loops, 1, 2. The second one is the back loop. So you just put your hook under the back loop only, pull up a loop, and single crochet. I'll show that to you again. So when you look at it, it looks like this, but I turn it like this so you can see the 2 stitches, and just put it underneath the back loop only. Okay. Show you it one more time. Stick the crochet hook in the back loop, pull up a loop, pull it through, and you do that all the way to the end. So anytime you get a pattern that says to put it through the back loop, that's what they're talking about. And this helps to make the ridge of the cuff. Okay, the last loop is a little hard, but just do your best and pull it through, and you're going to chain 1 and turn again. Now rows 3 through 22 are the same as row 2, so what I did was I took and wrote in ink 3 through 22, and as I get one row done, I cross it off, and then I do the next row and cross that off in pencil. and that way when you're done you can erase it and still use this pattern for repeat. So we're going to do row 3, which is the same as the last row we just did, which is using the back loops only. Put it through, yarn over, and pull it through again, and then we have our single crochet. And you're going to do this same procedure for 22 rows. This is the 3rd row. Almost done with that row. Have one more stitch to go. Pull it up, pull it through, chain 1 for the next round. And then what I'll do is take my pencil and put a line through 3 to show that I finished that row, and then do row 4 through 22. Okay, this is the last stitch in row 22, and I've already finished it off, but you want to end with the chain 1 and pull it through. Now what you're going to do is weave in the end so that it doesn't come unraveled. So just go underneath the 2 loops and pull it through one way, and then go through and pull it through the opposite way. And we're just going to keep doing that through here. And what you want to do is pull it through and keep it as long as you can so that you don't have a short end that sticks out. Okay, we've weaved it through about 5 stitches. So then what you want to do is cut off the extra. And there's another one on this end that we have to do. So we'll pull that through a stitch. So you just, it doesn't matter where you weave it in, just weave it in until it disappears. See, it's very short now. I can weave it one more time, and that's short enough. That's going to be on the inside, so that won't show. Now what you want to do is take your cuff and fold it in half so that the seams are together, and we're going to do a single crochet stitch to sew the ends together. So you bring it through both sides, and then you do a slip stitch. And I match up the stitches the best that I can from both rows. Push the yarn through underneath, and then kind of tuck the loose yarn so that we can weave it in as we go along. That way you don't have to try to weave in again later. Yarn over and pull through both loops. See how I'm matching up the 2 rows? Okay, I'm almost done. I have 2 more to do. Here's 1, and then this is the very... Okay, on the very last stitch, we'll put it under the stitches, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull it through. And then what we'll do is chain 1, and then take your scissors and cut off about an inch or 2 and pull it through. Then what you want to do is take the end and weave it under the stitches. Kind of go back and forth so that it can't unravel. And you want to leave a long tail. Okay, that's good. So cut it off. And then what you want to do is take this and turn it inside out. It's actually right side out now. And there you have your cuff. Okay, what we're going to do now is work on the hand and add that to the cuff. So just take your H crochet hook and put it through underneath any stitch on the cuff. Make a slip knot. Put it on the end of the hook and pull it tight. Pull the loop underneath and make a slip stitch. Now what you want to do is take another loop, pull it through, and make a single crochet. Take a safety pin or whatever you want to use to mark it and put it underneath the stitches to show that that's where you started your row. Now the directions say on row 23 to single crochet in each stitch around for 22 stitches. So we want to count for 22 stitches. There's 1, 2, 3, 21, and 22. Now what we want to do is join the end of this row to the first single crochet. Take your marker out, your safety pin out, and put your hook underneath the single crochet and make a slip stitch. And then chain 1. Put your marker back in. Now row 24 is an increase row. So what we're going to do is single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then in the stitch after that you'll crochet 2 single crochets. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then this one will put 2 single crochets, and that's your increase. And the directions say to repeat around, so we count 1, 2, 3, and make 2 single crochets in that one, and do all of that to the end of the row. 1, 2, 3, and then make 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and again, just to reiterate, make sure that you're conscious of your tension and that you're not pulling too tightly. And then we just have 2 single crochets to go to the end of the row. Take your marker out, join with a slip stitch, chain 1, put your marker back in. Now rows 25 and 26 will just single crochet all the way around. And you don't need to count on this run, you just single crochet around. And since we increased the last row, you'll notice that the mitten is starting to extend out because of the increases. Okay, just have a couple more. Okay, take out my marker. Do the slip stitch, chain one. So what you're going to do is kind of pull your loop up a little bit so you don't lose it, and take your next hook, which is going to be a size I, and put it in your chain one there. And the directions say for row 27 and 28 to chain one and single crochet in each stitch around. So that's what we're going to do. Changing the size of hook makes it a little bigger, and for a man's size mitten, what you would do is start with an I hook and go to a J hook. That's for the body of the mitten to make it bigger. Okay, I'm at the end of row 28, so take my marker out, put the yarn underneath the stitch, pull up a loop, and this time, instead of doing a slip stitch, what we're going to do is we're going to change color. So you want to leave about a 2-inch string of yarn, cut it off, take your next color, and what you want to do is tie it as close to the hook as you can get it, and then tie it in a knot. Okay. Then yarn over and pull it through and mark your row again. And the directions say to single crochet in each stitch around, so we're going to single crochet with our new color, to single crochet all the way to the marker. Now in your last stitch, take out your marker. You're going to put the crochet hook under the last stitches, draw up a loop, and change color again. So make a 2-inch thread. Get your next color. You're going to tie it in a knot, just the way we did the last one. Just kind of yarn over and pull it down to the crochet hook as close as you can get it. And then tie your knot. Okay. Now, if you wanted to make more than one row of one color, you could start at row 27 and maybe make 3 rows of this color and then change whatever you want to do. But I'm just doing 1 row and then changing to this next color. Chain 1. Just get in the habit of marking your row, even though it's a color and you can tell where the color changes. Now we have these loose ends. What we want to do is kind of tuck them behind the single crochets here, and when you put your crochet hook under the loops, you're also going to put them underneath these loose threads and pull up a loop, and then kind of guide the loose threads along to the next single crochet and do the same thing. And that helps to weave in the ends so that you don't have to worry about doing that at the end. So we're going to single crochet in each loop to the end of this row. Okay, now we're at the last stitch, so we'll take out the marker. We're going to switch back to the main color. So put your crochet hook under the stitches and pull up a loop. And then you'll take your scissors and cut a 2-inch yarn. Okay. Then you're going to do the same process. You're going to tie it as close to the crochet hook as possible and make a knot. Okay, then we'll yarn over and pull up a loop and mark it. Like I said, just get in the habit of marking your rows. That's a good habit to get into. Take your extra threads. So you need to do a chain 1 here first. Take your extra threads, pull them behind the single crochet, yarn over and pull up a loop. And just do 2 rows of this color. Okay, now we're at the end of row 32. And row 33 is where we're going to add the thumb. And this first one is going to be for the right hand. So we're going to take our marker out, do a slip stitch to connect the row, and a chain 1, and put your marker back in there. Now what we want to do is single crochet in 3 stitches and then chain 6 for the thumb. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 stitches, and then chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then count 4 single crochets over. 1, 2, 3, 4, and single crochet in the 4th one. Now just continue single crocheting to the end of the row. Okay, we're at the end of the row, which is row 33. So take out the marker, do a slip stitch to join the row, chain 1, put your marker back in, and rows 34 through 37 are just to single crochet around, but I will show you this first one so that you can see how to single crochet around the chain 6. So we're just going to single crochet up to the chain 6, and then we have this loop. We're going to do 6 single crochets in the loop. 3, 4, 5, 6, and then just single crochet the rest of the row. That's what it looks like when you single crochet inside the circle, and this creates our thumb hole. We're just going to finish the row. Okay, we're at the end of row 34, and we'll do the same thing. Take the marker out, do a slip stitch to complete the row, do a chain 1, always chain 1 at the beginning of a row, put your marker back in, and the directions say for rows 34 through 37, just single crochet around. So I'll show you this one. This is row 35, and we're going to go back over the single crochets that are over the loop, and it just really incorporates it. It's a kind of an odd shape. It's not a straight across row, but don't be concerned about that. Okay, that's what it looks like, or it's what it should look like. And just keep crocheting for 3 more rows. Okay, this is the end of row 37. I've done my 3 rows of single crochet, so I'm going to take out my marker, do a slip stitch to join the row, chain 1, put my marker back in to mark the row, mark the beginning of the row, and the directions in row 38 say to single crochet in the next 3, and we're going to decrease. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3. Now the next part is to decrease. So to decrease, you put your crochet hook under the stitches in the single crochet, yarn over and draw up a loop. Put your hook under the next single crochet, yarn over and draw up a loop. You should have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and draw through all 3. And you'll notice that that makes 1 single crochet on the next row. So we're going to continue to the end of the row like that. Just count 1, 2, 3, and then decrease. Yarn over and pull it through all 3 loops. And the reason that we're doing a decrease is to make the fit around the fingers kind of snug, so that there's no cold air that will go up the mitten. And I only have 2 stitches left in this row, so I'm going to decrease that last stitch. And that takes me to the end of row 38. So I'll take out my marker, just slip stitch to join the row, chain 1, put my marker back in, now rows 39 through 41, just single crochet in each stitch around. So we're just going to single crochet. Okay, that's the end of row 41. So what we're going to do is take out our marker, do a single crochet, slip stitch, chain 1, and this time we're going to finish off. So leave about a 2-inch tail and cut it, and then just pull your crochet hook to pull the loop out. And I always make that chain 1 so that it reinforces the knot so it doesn't come out as easily. Now what we're going to do is flip the mitten over and weave in the ends. So just go underneath, yarn over and pull it through, go from the other side, we'll just keep going like that so that you're weaving it in and out so it won't come unraveled. Okay, and then we'll cut it off. And that's on the inside. And there's your finished mitten. We'll try it on for size. This is the left mitten. And the way that you know that is because the other side, you can tell where your rows were connected. It has a kind of a rib effect. When you go to make the right mitten, you do the rows exactly the same up to row 33. When you're at the beginning of your row, you're going to chain 17, and that'll take you across to about here, and then you'll chain 6 and make the thumb, and then that'll fit the right hand. So there you have it. Feel free to leave any comments or like my pattern, and let me know if you have any questions. Have fun.